Welcome to Deep Thought. The ripple one person can create. The ripple. You know what? There were two examples of it. One was from that TV show. It's on Apple TV Foundation, based on Isaac Asimov's book. And one of my favorite science fiction scenes was when the Emperor, Cleon, he was a clone, of course. That's a whole nother part of the story. And, they referred to him either as Brother Day or Empire, right? And, someone had killed like a younger clone and everything. And, Cleon, Brother Day, he decided to kill the face of that person. And I'll share a link to that video in the description box. And he talked about all the people she had touched one way or another. And he killed them all. He said, on my signal, this is my favorite thing, on my signal, a particle beam will destroy him, something like that, right? And all he did was this. This is a powerful scene. I shared it in the description box, right? And, even though that was fiction, you think, who has your life touched? Or like one person whose lives have they touched? Because I also thought about a great friend of mine. I call him cousin out in San Diego, him and his lady. And they are a powerful couple when they're together. They are a powerful, powerful couple. In fact, I'll mention him, Shophar. I'll put a link to his website and a video with him and his lady Kirti together. And when people see them together, because I told him, I said, y'all two are a powerful couple. And y'all can have an effect on people even if they see y'all. See, I'm going to tell you what, one person, just one person could create like a ripple. One person can create like something where they touch other people's lives. I mean, yeah, okay, like on right here on YouTube. You don't know whose lives that you've touched just by doing a video. Any content creator and stuff. Somebody, people can say what they want. People can talk about it, say, oh, I don't like it. But you don't know whose lives you touch. Or, I'm going to tell you what. Even in like person who might not have been on TV, they could be an ordinary person. Ordinary. Like I can think of a couple of examples. Like I remember when I was in school at American. And then, still going to the gym after I graduated. And I remember there was this one guy I met, and he was powerful. He was powerful, but all he was a mailman. But he would hit the gym and everything, and the effect that he had on people was powerful. He just delivered mail. He was a mailman on campus. He would deliver stuff, but he was still in school. He would work out hard. And I remember one time he said he was driving a cab and somebody was going to rob him. And he's able to talk the guy out of it. And the guy said he wished he had somebody like him as an uncle. People, you can have one person. They don't have to be in a great position, but they can touch other people's lives. Another time I thought about when I was working, it was Kenilworth Parkside in DC. Like driving through there now, I've seen it's had some gentrification and stuff. But at the time, it was one of the roughest neighborhoods. And, it was a DC summer job, and me and a crew of people, our job was to clean up the place. But I never forget doing some cleaning, cutting grass, all that stuff, fixing fences. There was one woman who had a beautiful property. It was beautiful. This is right in the middle of one of the roughest neighborhoods. But she had a small house and she had flowers and everything. I mean, it stood out like an oasis. And, I always thought about that woman. It was like, how many young men did she might have kept out of prison? How many young men and women that she might have inspired to do better just from her being there? Because I've seen women like that. Even rough and tough drug dealers, street dudes. There's always somebody they won't let anybody mess with. Everybody laces up. If something happened, everybody laces up. How many people? Speaking of which, there was another woman a young lady I thought about, very beautiful, and I told the story before. Like, she's very beautiful, but she had nothing but respect. She was like everybody's sister. Like, if anybody in the neighborhood, like if somebody had messed with outside the neighborhood, every dude in the neighborhood would have laced up. And by lacing up, I mean they'd put on their tents, been ready for war. And I never forget, I was still working for the government. And I've told the story before. I was still working for the government, and I went, I forgot, I can't remember what it was, but I was agitated coming from like going to lunch. I was agitated for some reason. And all she did, she didn't even ask me what's up. She just grabbed me and held my hand. And I was like, man, they did this. She just sat there and just listened, just held my hand. And I was like, quiet. Her ripple effect was she could bring peace. She was just a peaceful person. Like I said, everybody respected her. Like, if anybody had messed with her in the neighborhood, or anybody outside the neighborhood, every dude in the neighborhood would have laced up and been ready for war. Every single man in the neighborhood would have laced up. But that's who she was. That was the ripple that she creates. Understand something. And really, anybody, they can create something. Some people create a bigger ripple. Some people create a small one. But you don't know. You don't know when people see you. Like, I remember my freshman year in college. I never forget, it was a guy, and looking back, I think he was on the autism spectrum. Now that I look back at it, know it better, but more functional. And, you talk to him and stuff, but he would always see me reading something. He said, man, I see you reading all the time. So he started reading more. And I didn't know it, but I was having an effect on him, and all he did was see me read something. Or yet, I use another example. My step-grandfather, he used to work as a security guard at the Pentagon, but, I was 5 years old at the time. He was just a regular cop to me. And he would just like, well, it's hard to see from here, but he used to have creased pants because he owned the cleaners at one time, like super creased. And I would just imitate him. He'd just be putting on his uniform, and he would do this to, crease his pants with his hands, straighten out the crease. And I would do the same thing. And I thought about that. I was like, just without him saying a word, he knew I was there, but without him saying a word, he had an effect on me. Without him saying one word. And no telling who else he had an effect on. And you got people like that. Understand something. Who you are, people see you. People will see you. People will they will see you. They might emulate you. They might be inspired by you. Yeah, they might hate your guts. Hey, that's a ripple effect too, though it's a negative one, but it's still there. So, that's the thing. You want to understand that we all touch each other. You never know. You might just see somebody, they wearing clothes a certain way or something, how it can affect you. And especially, I would say to people who doing videos like this, you do have a responsibility because a lot of people are seeing you. A lot of people, they seeing you, they might have a positive version of you in their mind, maybe a negative version, but you still causing a ripple effect. I want y'all to think about that, all right? Really think about that. What effect, you never know who's seeing you doing what and how it affects their lives in a positive way. And if it is in a negative way, you need to work on something. But you never know, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for today. I want y'all to really think about that, all right? Think on this. And y'all have a great weekend. Peace and blessings.